Rich.
Let me first say, John, thanks very much for giving me the opportunity. It certainly was not what you painted, though. It has been an enjoyable period of my time to be working with at the CIO's office. John did some very creative things in setting standards and setting some policies and putting some things in place that were very nice. Let me also add that those were times when there was fairly easy going at the county. Not all of them, but for the latter part of John's career at the county, things were fairly stable, and seems to be plenty of revenue. Seems to be that the property taxes revenue that was coming in covered most initiatives that many folks wanted to do, not to mention the grants that were available that many agencies were pursuing. We had a change in the LA County. LA County, in terms of its governance structure, the county departments, of which there's 38 of them, reported directly to the Board of Supervisors up until about a couple of years ago. Excuse me. We had a change in that governance, in that the county decided that we needed to have a chief executive officer, someone that the departments reported to, as opposed to reporting to 5 different bosses who were clearly driven by their political desires or political needs to deal with the areas within their own supervisorial districts. That didn't go painlessly, so there were some issues associated with who's in charge, who can talk to whom, who can direct what projects, who can direct what activities. But slowly but surely things were coming around. We bring it now, fast forward, to the current situation in which we're in today. And it's no secret, obviously, that the county government is recoiling like many other industries and saying, how are we going to deal with the problems that we're dealing with? And I think, as John alluded to at the beginning, it is a time for opportunity. Everybody understands and believes that IT can be the organization that can provide a lot of solutions as the enabler to meeting a lot of business demands. We have the demands don't stop. The county departments continue to be pushing and trying to meet the needs of their constituents or their customers. That becomes a bit of a challenge and continues to become even more problematic as we move forward. What that enables us to do, though, it enables us to sit back and take stock of what we have in place today. We've had many years in which we, as independent agencies, brought up applications or systems or technologies. But because of the siloed approach that the agencies were working under, it was very difficult to share these benefits unless you knew somebody within the organization. It's very difficult to understand a success that might have influenced one department that you could use in another department. There was continue to be opportunities that we would try to push to say, let's share information. But as you all know, as you probably all know, it's not the easiest thing to get everybody to agree to do. But this provides an opportunity with the new administration, there being a chief executive officer, and the governance structure that we have in place, and the focus that is being given to CIOs, particularly to my office, and again the departmental CIOs as well, in terms of how can we make a difference, how can we make an impact. And it's incumbent upon us, as we talk to the different organizations, the different CIOs, is how can we make a difference? How can we exploit some of the technology? How can we share some of this information? And there's value from this new governance because we are able to share a lot of this information. At the executive level, we can identify what has worked in certain areas that can be used elsewhere. When they start talking about what new projects may be coming up, there's an opportunity for my office, being where it's structured, to be able to provide opinions and advice and directions in information technology. Again, as I said, our CEO is an IT bigot. He loves IT. He believes IT is an answer. And I think that's probably first and foremost of importance for us to be successful. People such as Webster needs to understand the value of IT and how beneficial that could be for the organization. So we're trying to exploit that as much as possible by sharing data, sharing information. So we've gone through a change of governance. We are now going through a change of examinations of what it is that we have in the county that can provide opportunities, that can provide solutions to many of the departments, because let's face it, we are not going to be getting a lot of money for the next couple of years. We are going to be looking at freezes. We are going to be looking at needing to scale down, losing some very key individuals, either through retirement or finding jobs elsewhere. So we need to take a look in terms of what opportunities can we avail ourselves of. And frankly, in many instances, we're going to be looking outside the box. We're going to be looking at things that we've never looked at before. We're going to be pushing the envelope as it relates to our labor organizations. That says, you know, maybe we do need to take a look at the dirty O word in some ways, in some fashion. We certainly can't take it off the table because things aren't going to get better. And the demand is going to continue to be pushed at us. So we need to take a look not only at our own infrastructure, but thinking outside of the box in terms of what are some potential opportunities that we can avail ourselves of, and what are some, dealing with some of our strategic vendors, such as many of the folks that are in here, and saying, how can you assist? What ideas do you have? How can you help us solve some of these issues? And oh, by the way, we'd like all your opinions and your advice for gratis. Don't charge us. Give us your ideas. Please don't send me a bill. And I think that that's right. That's right. We'll need to talk. Where is HP? But I think that's important for us to keep the county moving forward, because there is no stopping the technology. We know that we need the technology to move forward. We know we need to take advantage of the new technology that's been evolving, because it's going to make our job that much easier. And we're going to not only have to rely on many of our partners within the county, but also our strategic business partners, vendor community that might be able to assist us in giving us some directions, some ideas, how we might be able to deal things more effectively and better.